Horns up and welcome to a brand new episode of Headbangers Kitchen. Folks, I'll be honest, I don't eat a lot of seafood, but when I do, it's something like the dish I'm going to show you today. Today we're going to be making a stir-fry fish with ginger and spring onion. This is a Chinese style dish and it is absolutely delicious. Anyway, enough jibber jabber, let's get cooking. We're going to start by peeling some ginger. I like to use a spoon as it helps you get into all the nooks and crannies when peeling it. Once it's peeled, it's time to slice the ginger and we are going to be julienning the ginger, which is cutting them into small matchsticks. Next, I take some garlic and give it a rough chop. Once again, I've got some teeny tiny cloves of garlic, so I've used a few, but if you've got a big size garlic clove, one will do. Next, I take a single spring onion and I will actually cut this lengthwise and I will separately cut the white and the green part. We're doing this just for the garnish on the dish actually. So once you cut that lengthwise, you put it in a bowl and then you pour over some cold water. This will make the onions curl and you will have a pretty garnish. Next, I take my spring onions and I cut the white part into rounds, and we're going to be using this in the dish as well. Then take the rest of the spring onion and cut it into 1-inch long pieces. Now it's time to prep the fish, and I'm using boneless tilapia fillets, but honestly any fish fillet will work for this recipe. I'm cutting them into 1-inch pieces again because I like a good bite of fish when I'm eating. So once that is done, put it all into a bowl, and now it's time to marinate the fish. I start with some dark soya sauce, some oyster sauce, some cooking sake, some toasted sesame oil, some black pepper, and then some MSG. And give it all a good mix. Now MSG is perfectly safe to use, but if you don't have any or if you don't want to use it for whatever reason, you can skip it, no problem. Anyway, now just set the fish aside to marinate. It's now time to wok and roll, so let's get the wok on the stove and heat up some oil. To that oil I will add my spring onion whites, the ginger and the garlic. And now I'm just gonna saute this. You want to cook this now till the garlic is just about starting to brown. And once that happens, in goes my fish. Now I just give the fish a few tosses to get it cooking. You don't want to be too violent with the fish and stir it vigorously, otherwise it'll start to break. Anyway, now I add in some water and give everything a gentle mix. Remember, you don't want to break the fish into pieces. I throw in my spring onions as well. And now continue to gently mix everything. We're just going to let this cook for a few minutes more. Bring it up to a gentle boil. Also check the consistency of the sauce and taste it for seasoning. Now I want to thicken my sauce, so I'm going to make a slurry using cornflour and water that I will just mix in a bowl. 2 teaspoons of cornflour and some water. If you are on keto, you can skip this step or you can use a thickener like xanthan gum. Now I pour my slurry into the fish and give everything a good mix. And now just let it cook and thicken up. You can check the consistency of the sauce, and when it's coating the back of your spoon, it's pretty much ready. So just get it off the heat and we're done. And that, my friends, is your epic Chinese style stir-fry fish with ginger and spring onions. I would suggest serving this over cauliflower rice or shirataki noodles if you are on keto or a low-carb diet. Otherwise, if you're on a diet like I am, which is like a seafood diet where you see food and eat it, just serve it with regular rice. Now let me quickly show you the spring onion we cut to garnish the dish with. Look how they have curled and gotten all fancy and dressed up for the dish. So I serve myself some of that fish in a bowl and I garnish it with the spring onion and some more fresh julienne ginger. And our dish is now plated and ready. Tell me that doesn't look like something you can serve up at a dinner party with your friends. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this recipe and you will make it, because now it's time to taste. Alright guys, it's time to taste the fish, and look who has dropped into my house just in time for the tasting. It's been a while since my dad's been on the show, and he's here to taste some fish, which he's actually not the biggest fan of, but
most important, guys, normally I used to walk 2 steps and I was in the tasting room. Now I've driven kilometers to get here to eat fish. And it's smelling great. I don't know how it's going to taste. Let's give it a go.
Okay, let's dig in and taste. But I promise I'll call you for some beef or something that you are more excited about in general.
What are you calling this? I mean,
this is spring onion and ginger fish stir fry. That ginger.
You're sure you didn't order it from Royal China?
No.
This is...
Tastes like the restaurant, no?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know about
The
fish.
the ginger, the
Spring
spring
onion.
onion. Each and every taste is independent, yaar. And then that fish tastes like fish and not sauced up.
It's good fish also.
Good stuff.
It's tilapia fillets, which normally if you buy the frozen ones, they don't have any taste at all. But like, I think the fresh one that I got is much better.
Guys, it's born in March, so I'm Pisces. Fish, I love it.
Awesome. So my dad has given his approval to the fish in ginger and spring onion, and I will see you on the next episode. But smash that like button if you want to see more of my dad. I'll try and call him over for one of the more exciting tastings of beef and pork which he likes. So smash that like button, and I'll see you on the next episode of Headbangers Kitchen. Until then, cheers and keep cooking. A big thank you to all my supporters on Patreon. It's because of people like you that I'm continued to be able to do what I do. And if you want to support me on Patreon or on the YouTube channel memberships, the links are in the video description box just below this video. I've also got ebooks and merchandise that you can purchase to help the channel. Links again in the video description box. And if you don't have money to spend or you don't want to, you can just watch more of my videos. That helps as well. Anyway, thank you. That's all I gotta say. Thank you. It's amazing. It's versatile. It's a perfect weeknight dinner. Work night dinner. I'm slapping the camera, Miso. Shh, quiet. Are you scared of the camera?